Where do you think the contact with the aliens came from? When did that start?
You know, I'm not going to get into it.
I need to hear about aliens.
I know you already know all this, Joe.
Hold on a second.
It's always...
But I want to ask you this because I don't know.
Oh, yeah, right. We're in contact with aliens.
Like what kind of shit?
Here's what's happening, because it's not just one group of aliens.
What's the different groups?
The big five.
Okay, tell me what's going on.
Let me begin. This is really, I'm telling you, Joe, this is a real deal.
We're listening to you.
Well, first off, elves is the main group.
Okay.
And they call them the elves. It's clockwork elves.
I don't think you're allowed to say that anymore.
There are bad things that look like elves that have horns when they show you who they really are.
Damn.
They're bad aliens.
I'm with you.
AI is alien.
Like a robot?
Yeah, they're like robots coming to kill you.
Jesus Christ.
The chimeras are alien.
And there's a hive mind sort of thinking to a lot of it.
They want the organs. I swear on my kids, I told you the truth about that.
I believe you. I believe you.
They're coming after everybody. It's a breakaway civilization, dude. We don't know what they've got. Joe, they're control freaks.
Well, everybody's a
That's why I'm
control
so glad
freak.
you're in the fight now. These guys are on stuff that like nobody even knows.
What do you think they're on?
Stuff they've been given.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
You know, there's like armed guys with machine guns.
That is a group of people that were obsessed with combat.
About the most fearless killers there are.
Do you think that's from their heritage of war?
I mean, it's just like, it's mental illness, man.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Let's get started, shall we? Welcome to the stream, everybody. My name is Green Leader, and tonight we're gonna do something a little different. I was wanting to check out the Xbox game showcase on the weekend, but I forgot completely about it. And ended up missing it entirely. And so instead of just watching it at some point afterward and just keeping my thoughts to myself, I thought, why not let's actually stream it live tonight. And so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna stream it live tonight. I'll give my thoughts on it, and we'll be hanging out and watching this nonsense together. So yeah, so that's the plan for the evening. Supposedly it's 2 hours. I don't know if all of that is going to be for the showcase, because I know it also mentions, the video says it's like there's some sort of Outer Worlds 2 stuff as well. So I don't know if once we get to that point, if I'll watch the entirety of that portion, or if, yeah, whether or not it's going to be long or short, I don't know. But we'll see. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. But thank you guys so much for being here. Really do appreciate it. How's your night going, Fubi? No green poo tonight. Or no meow poo tonight. So yeah. Sorry. Anyway, so I hope you guys are all having a fine Thursday. It's just that much closer to the weekend. Let's go ahead and get into it, and we can set up the actual stream itself. So I've got it here from Xbox's YouTube page, and supposedly there's going to be Outer Worlds 2 and Grounded 2 Direct as well. Don't know if I really care all that much, particularly like the Grounded 2. I just do not give a rat's. I didn't play the first one. I don't really care about the second one. So, but we'll see what all it has to show, because I know it's a lot more than that, and I know there's a couple of announcements that I would like to get some more information on, to say the least. So let's go ahead and get it started. Pause the music. And here we go. Does Canada use the same ESRB ratings? I thought they had a different setup. Oh my gosh, there you go. Peggy 18, all that other good stuff. All the different variants of the ESRB stuff. That's Outer Worlds 2. We're just going straight into Outer Worlds 2. Okay.
Do you think I care that the colony is in disarray? We didn't come to Arcadia to get bogged down in pointless warfare. We came to spread freedom and liberate resources for profit. But this pesky Earth Directorate agent is mucking things up. They're not alone in doing so. And they think they can just choose how things play out. They could stop us from stealing the Protectorate's brainwashing technology, which we need to improve our market share.
It's interesting how
if this stranger aligned with the order
they really try to have it look like Fallout
that could be the key to
in a lot
closing
of
the
ways.
rifts that threaten the colonies.
Yes.
So, you see why this menace must be wiped from the face of existence. Or, better yet, brought to our side through the power of capitalism.
I felt like the combat in Outer
Let's
Worlds
get
1 was a
out
little
there and buy
lacking by
our
comparison.
way to victory.
I'm hoping they tighten that up a little bit.
And earning for you.
The giant robots are cool though. I will say that.
My heart and revel in you. Every last bit of my way. Every last bit that
Hey, Darth Faison, how you doing, buddy?
every last bit that I save is intended for you.
I don't know what the music is about. Ooh, that was cool. Okay. The combat, it looks like it's a. I see. I'm like, it's just getting bigger. Like, that's because the other guy was getting smaller. Obviously. Nice.
For now, I'll take one that's brand new. 'Cause I'm yearning and burning
At least they're actually showing gameplay trailers for this too. It's like, I don't care about cinematic trailers anymore. I've stopped caring about that stuff. This looks...
An adventure made for capitalism by capitalism. Inflate our impressions and egos by staying tuned after the showcase.
Which I will not be. But man, the it's interesting. It is very interesting. It looks a lot like just a lot more of Outer Worlds 1. Other than just like there's more weird and wacky stuff for you to do in terms of like the weapons. It does look a little bit better than what they had before in terms of like the interactions with other characters. Although they didn't really show a lot of that. They showed largely just the combat, which the combat, I can't tell just from looking at that whether or not it's actually better or worse. So, hey, Faison. It's weird. It's weird to me how Nintendo still hasn't announced a Direct yet. Yeah, that is actually interesting. Sony just had theirs. Xbox just had theirs. Yet no Nintendo Direct. That's actually rather interesting. Seeing how we've got a new console now, and most of the major presenters have had 1 or 2 broadcasts, right? Figured it'd have been this week, but nope, nothing. To be fair, I mean, they literally just released their latest console. Do you need a Direct after you've just released your latest console? That would be like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not even asking that to be like, I'm just like, I really don't know. Because it seems like, yeah, that could be a way to go. But, you know, Switch 2 just came out. Yeah, Xbox just announced that new console, which we'll get to later on. I've seen a little bit about it already. I'm very curious to see if the showcase actually explains about, like, what libraries were going off here. But, yeah. As for the Outer Worlds 2, it looks like more Outer Worlds 2. If you liked Outer Worlds 1, you'll probably like this one too. I don't know. I didn't get very far with Outer Worlds 1, partly because I was initially playing on the Switch, and then I switched over to PC. And playing on the Switch, particularly with the Joy-Cons, was a giant pain. With the Pro Controller, much better. But it looked pretty good on the Switch. But it definitely looked... You know, to be honest, I actually don't know if it was better on PC or not. Other than it probably ran at a much better frame rate on PC, but in terms of like the graphics, didn't actually look that much downgraded between the two. So I don't know. But the environments look actually very, very samey. I wouldn't quite say like, you know, it looks very familiar to Outer Worlds 2. Not that it necessarily looks samey. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. I wonder if they're putting it off for next month since Pokemon Presents is due July 22nd. But then again, Pokemon got a lot more to discuss in the future. Yeah, that's true. Got a lot more. Dude, I would love for them to actually innovate in a meaningful way with Pokemon, because I feel like they really haven't done a lot. Like them making it open world for, I think, the last 2, right? It wasn't just Scarlet and Violet, but wasn't Sword and Shield also open world, or am I wrong on that? Pokemon has a Lego line coming now. Really? Okay. Of course they do. Anyway, let's continue on. Play anywhere. Play it day 1 with Game Pass, so the devs can lose money.
World premiere.
Yay.
Babe, what's wrong?
The hell is this?
I'm sorry. I've just been so depressed lately.
You know, it would fix everything. Humanzapro.
What? Oh, okay. Now I understand. Ion Life. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Hold on. Didn't they get rid of the guy who did the voices for that? Like during that whole time when they were sort of Me Tooing that guy who did the voices for Rick and Morty. I thought not only did the studio behind Rick and Morty get rid of him, but I thought the game studio behind this got rid of him as well. I don't know. Is this supposed to be like a DLC, or is this... Fair, it's been a while for it to be just DLC. This has got to be a sequel. Sword and Shield was close, but still in your eyes. By the way, if it's too loud, please let me know. I'll turn it down. My biggest problem with this is that this is basically a cinematic. It's a cinematic trying to copy the feel of what it's like when you're actually playing the game. But I know this is a cinematic, but just based off of the way it looks. It doesn't feel like it's actual gameplay. It feels like a cinematic of gameplay, which is just weird. It is a sequel, High on Life 2. Okay. I like the first game. The first game was pretty fun. You also notice they didn't actually show you don't hear the voices. Yeah.
World.
I hate cinematic trailers so much. I can't judge it. I can't judge it. You know, I can judge. Okay, cool. The aesthetic looks interesting. The whatever. They showed you a lot of the guns that look very familiar from like the first game. Everything about that game is like, how good is the writing? How good is the writing? How good is the jokes? Are the voices going to still sound the same? You know, did they actually get rid of that? Is it Justin Roiland or something like that? I think that's his name. The guy who created and did the voices for Rick and Morty. He created and did the voices for like the main characters in this game. Now, did they get rid of him from the studio as well? I thought they did. Maybe they brought him back. I don't know. Sword and Shield. Oh yeah, Scarlet and Violet was the first truly open world generation. Yes, Sword and Shield was close, but still linear. I see. Pokemon needs to innovate in like a real way. Yeah, making an open world is not it. It's not it. But as for that last trailer, it's a cinematic trailer. I don't care. It means almost nothing to me. Particularly as it didn't particularly show anything good about the writing. It didn't particularly show anything about the gameplay, because I can't tell you the number of cinematic trailers I've seen that are completely not representative of the gameplay. I don't care. It's just basically an announcement that, like, you could have done that as just a teaser trailer. Just a teaser. Like, if you're just going to do a cinematic, just do like a teaser. Because I think I can't be the only one who's like at this point where like, I just don't care about cinematics, because cinematics mean nothing. So Gen 10 is coming out next year, so I'm wondering what's next for it. I'm kind of worried since the last anniversary generation was Sun and Moon, and that royally screwed up. Not once but twice. Really? I don't know anything about Sun and Moon. And are you talking about the remake Sun and Moon? Like, were they not good? I have no idea. I didn't get them.
Premiere.
Another cinematic trailer. Well, this is in-engine footage, but that's not gameplay footage. Assassin's Creed. This feels like Assassin's Creed already. Hold on, why is this like across different ages? What is this? Okay. Oh. Hold on. What? A Plague Tale. I had okay, I will give him that. I had no idea it was going to be a Plague Tale. It looked nothing like a Plague Tale. I thought it was Assassin's Creed. From like the time frame and then like switching to like these different areas where like Assassin's Creed has been in the past. I'm like, oh, are they going to do some sort of compilation? No. This is not even related to that. This is just a completely different game altogether. It's a Plague Tale. Resident. So I'm guessing this is a spin-off. I have not played any of the Plague Tale games. I know people love them. But this one is called Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy. So I assume it's either a spin-off or check out like it's like in the same universe. I don't know. I really don't know. And again, it's cinematic. I don't care. I do. Okay. And I will say this, it is, so I'm watching this via Xbox's own channel, right? I don't know if the other versions, because I saw like a CNET version and I saw one for the Game Awards version of the game showcase. I do like that this does not have presenters. I don't care about presenters. So I'm very glad that at least this doesn't have presenters. So there's that. Yeah, Sun and Moon had an enhanced version, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And while those games fixed a lot of problems the originals had, it drastically changed the story and it created its own problems. Interesting. Labyrinth of Crete is a major theme in the trailer. And that, yes, I know, right? Empty corridors following the thread to the Minotaur at the end. Yes. Well, that's part of the reason why I thought, oh, maybe it's some sort of Assassin's Creed thing, because they had something similar to that in Assassin's Creed, in Odyssey. Plus, they had like you saw Venice as well, or at least what looked like Venice. You saw what looked like some countryside area. So I thought like, oh, look at these different things that have had their connections to Assassin's Creed, or Assassin's Creed has used. Oh, maybe this is from Ubisoft. Why would it be? I mean, Ubisoft has shown off stuff at, you know, Xbox and Sony and whatnot. So maybe, but no, turns out it's completely unrelated. So that's interesting. But like I say, it's cinematic, so I don't care. Play anywhere. Play day one Game Pass. That's how devs lose money. We're gonna get copyright stuff. Why do you guys use copyright music in your shit? Also, what is happening right now? But here's the actual console. So it looks like it looks like the Asus Ally ROG, but they're releasing an Xbox version of it. Stream from the cloud. Okay. Wait, hold on, go back. So this is actually what I was actually really interested in, because I'm curious to see, is this an actual Xbox library, or is this just here's the Xbox store for Windows? Because you can already get that just with the standard Xbox the Asus Ally ROG. Hello there, Raw Dog. Hope you're having a good night. Man. And hey, Epic Legend Quest, how's your night going, buddy? GL tonight, gotta go to bed soon. Hey, no worries, no problem at all. Thank you so much for stopping by, Epic Legend Quest. I really appreciate it, man. But yeah, I wanted to see what this is actually going to be. Is it like a proper, you know, is it the proper Asus Ally ROG, or is it something, but like for the Xbox, or is this like just essentially the Asus Ally ROG that's Xbox themed? I don't know. So, from Darth Phazon. Anyways, the Ultra games are the preferable version of the Gen 7 adventure, but ultimately are flawed in their own ways, better than the original games, but not by much, I see. How's your night going, Rodok? I was not actually expecting them to get into this, like, immediately, so. Okay. it looks like I might be looking at. See, this makes me hard. Hard. This makes me confused. This makes me confused. It's hard for me to understand. That's what I was trying to say. Am I looking at the Xbox PC store, or am I looking at the Xbox library that you get on consoles? Because if it's the Xbox PC store, this is just really an Xbox themed Asus Ally ROG, just with the Xbox PC store natively running on it as like the main operating system, which means you're probably limiting yourself in terms of what you can put on here, because now you can't get access to Steam or access to Epic or any of these other things, which you could get access to on the other one. So why would you go for this one over the other one? Unless it has access to the Xbox, like the proper Xbox console library. Confused. I know. My brain was just, sorry, it does it a lot. So it's hard for me to understand which way it's going to be. So whether or not, yeah, sorry. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna really scrutinize this here, because I want to see your games seamlessly play, download natively. Okay, so you can download them to the machine. It's not just a cloud streaming console. So I'm good. Classic. Not classic. Great. And you can stream from the cloud if you want. I personally don't like streaming from the cloud because I know that you're always going to get input lag, and that always just ruins my night. So thank you. Thank you, Rodog. I appreciate you clipping that. Oh, man. Okay, hold on. Oh my gosh, I think this is the PC store. Don't tell me that. Come on. Because that looks like that's the Blizzard thing. It looks like the whatever Blizzard's player was or used to be before they got bought out by Xbox. I could be completely wrong on that. I really hope I'm wrong on that. Oh, thank you. You both clipped it, damn it. Yep, Battle.net. Discord. Power of Xbox. What do I mean power of Xbox? I'm just trying to, hold on. They press that button. And what, the command center? What the hell's the command center? Is that just like your control panel? Okay, so they got Battle.net, they got the game, they have Discord, and they have the Xbox app. Xbox-inspired controls with impulse triggers. Okay. Got AMD Ryzen. Cool. The whole everything is an Xbox. Apparently, Raw Dog and me had the same idea. I mean, you guys did. Great minds think alike. That's all you need to know, right? This is an Xbox. The ROG Xbox Ally X. You still have not told me. Also, again, why do you keep doing this nonsense? Give it the same damn chipset and just change the memory. You give one that's you make one that's underpowered. I hate when they do this. Stupid.
At Xbox, we strive to put the player first, and that.
Oh gosh, this is the Sarah Bond. This was this She used to be like the president of DEI or something like that, VP of like DEI bullshit or whatever it was. She's now the new president of Xbox.
That's what you've seen from us over the years. We've led the industry with backward compatibility. We championed
Does she even know
crossplay and
what that means?
cross-progression. We delivered Game Pass, first on console, then on PC.
Game Pass, as much as it's a good value for gamers, it is a horrible value for devs, and devs are losing money because of it, because it's cannibalizing their sales. I'm sorry, but I think Game Pass is actually hurting the market far more than it's actually helping gamers get games. And I think it's actually resulting in particularly larger devs making shittier games. At least one of several causes.
And with cloud gaming. So what's next? How can we give you even more freedom, more choice, more ways to play? Our next step is to unify your gaming no matter where you buy or play. So we're building an Xbox experience designed for players, not locked to a single store or tied to one device.
I think that's great. What she's saying there sounds great. Will it play my library from there? Right? Because right now, my biggest issue is that I have an extensive library on my Xbox console. Okay. And when they started doing and I keep pointing this way, I'm sorry, because I have my console over there, my Xbox Series X. It's over there. It's the special Halo Infinite Special Edition. I like it. I think it looks pretty cool. My issue is that because all the Xbox Series X titles have to go on the internal storage drive, I'm less inclined to get new games for it because I've already ran out of space. Particularly with them manually updating games. Because I'm on the Xbox Series X, I can't have the Xbox One version. No. It's got to be the Xbox Series X version, which has to be installed on the solid state hard drive. It cannot be installed on an external hard drive. And so as a result, and keep in mind, the games when they were playing on the Xbox One version played great, just fine from the regular external hard drive. So them kind of handcuffing me as to where I can store it, and with the storage itself being rather expensive to actually expand, I have actually given up buying new games on Xbox because of that. So my question is, and what would potentially get me considering to continue to invest in Xbox is, does this machine A, have expandable storage, but B, does it actually allow for you to access your console library, not the Xbox app that's on PC, because that has an access to a different set of libraries. Unless they've changed that, and now like any game that you buy, any game that's in your library on the console is now available on that Xbox app, then I'm changing my tune completely. But I don't think that's the case. And I still have yet to hear her explain that, other than her saying, well, now you can play it anywhere. Now you can play all your games anywhere. Let's see it.
The Xbox Ally is an Xbox you can hold in your hands, bringing together the power of Xbox and the freedom of Windows.
Freedom of Windows, that's a joke. Anyway, I do like the idea of consoles becoming more portable. I've actually been wanting this since I was a kid. Being able to, get your console. It's your one device. You don't have to constantly be upgrading it until, the next one comes out, which is, generally going to be like 5 or 6 years out. But my question at this point, not my question. My observation when it comes to the consoles is that at this point, with consoles getting more expensive, with consoles putting on more restrictions as to how you can play, I can see why people are moving more towards PC. And so consoles, I feel like, need to step up their game in terms of what they can offer more, in terms of what sort of aspects do you actually get that would be better than PC? Like, why would you want to get an Xbox over a PC? Particularly with them now being kind of on par in terms of, maybe not on par, but like very similar, and you can do so much more with a PC. Well, if you were to make it portable, like what Xbox is doing right now, that actually offers a new feature that was generally not available for PC. Although it kind of is. It started with that. I take that back. Yeah, why? I mean, at this point, why do you want to get an Xbox over that unless you already have, like myself, a large library on your console that's built up from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One and now to the Xbox Series X? I don't know. I really don't know at this point.
On this Xbox, you can play games across your entire library, including all the Windows PC game stores, from Xbox and Battle.net to Steam, GOG, and Ubisoft Connect.
Okay, good. And
the highly anticipated Hollow Knight Silksong will be available at launch and in Game Pass when the Ally releases later this year.
Did they just give that away? I haven't seen anything about Silksong actually being announced in terms of like what its actual release date is. Are they just giving that away right now?
In fact, every new game you see in today's show will be playable on the Xbox Ally. We have always wanted you to have the unique experience of Xbox on any screen.
By the way, I saw Baldur's Gate 3 in their list, in their library list. And immediately my brain goes to, well, that's 115 gigs right there. If that's a 1 terabyte hard drive, there goes 10%. That's 10% of your entire hard drive gone, dedicated to that one game. I would love to see a shrinking down of game sizes because it's too big. All these game sizes are too damn big. I'm sorry. I mean, even on my PC, I'm having a hard time trying to deal with, oh, well, I've got so much storage and yet it's all filling up. It's all filling up. I can't store all the games that I have that I want to keep on because I haven't finished them. So I'm just, yeah. Silksong was shown off in the Switch 2 Direct a couple of months ago. Okay. I read that first one like, wait, next month? What do you mean the Switch 2 Direct next month? But okay, last month. Okay. That makes sense.
That's why we're investing in Xbox
no worries.
Play Anywhere.
I am too. I'm sorry,
Whether
buddy.
you're playing on console, PC, smart TV, or any Windows handheld like the new Xbox Ally, the Xbox experience roams with you. Your library, progression, friends, and achievements. There are over 1,000 Xbox Play Anywhere games on Xbox today.
Hold on. There's a big difference between you can access your library from anywhere versus talking about the Xbox Play Anywhere titles. Xbox Play Anywhere was a specific set of titles that were marked to be able to play. When you bought it on the Xbox, you could play it on your PC via the Xbox app, or you could play it on wherever via the Xbox app. She's now confusing me again because which is it? Are we talking about Xbox Play Anywhere titles and are they adding more stuff to it, or is your entire library playable on this machine?
And every new game you see in today's show from our partners and our studios is Xbox Play Anywhere. And because it's Xbox, you can always have access to Game Pass with a diverse lineup of games from the biggest franchises to critically acclaimed indie hits. This is the freedom we believe players should have. Any game, anywhere.
As long as you play it how we want you to play it. As long as you store it where we want you to store it.
And we are giving it our all every day to make this vision real. But it all comes back to the games. From Dead to Rights on the original Xbox to Armored Core 6, our relationship with Bandai Namco
Games that we already have.
Entertainment has stood the test of time. We both believe in bringing amazing experiences to players around the world, and their next game does exactly that.
I have a lot of, like, I've liked both consoles. I'm not really I have leaned more Xbox simply because they had a better backwards compatibility setup, and they had more of the franchises back during the 360 days. I liked Gears of War better. I liked Halo better. I liked a lot of the other games that they had on there better. And I think they had a better performance. They had a better networking. Okay, maybe they didn't have better performance, but I think they had better multiplayer performance because their network was way better than what Sony had. I always had such major problems with the PlayStation 3 trying to get multiplayer up and running. It worked, but it felt like it was much more obnoxious to get that network connection working for the PS3 than it did for the Xbox. I don't know why. Maybe it was just me. I don't know. It was also really irritating how every time I would turn on my PlayStation, it would say, "Oh yeah, there's an update for the game that you want to play." And the irritating thing was that the update was always like, it was marginally big, right? They generally weren't large updates, you know, a gig tops. But for whatever reason, Sony's download network was always incredibly slow. For like a gig, it would take me literally all night to where I had to just leave the PlayStation up and running so it could finish downloading overnight so I could then play it the next day. Every single time, without fail. Whereas with Xbox, you know, oh yeah, you got a gig up download for an update? Yeah, it'll take like 15, 20 minutes tops. And that's with a slow network type of situation. It just felt like multiplayer always worked better. It felt like third-party titles always felt better on Xbox, and that's why I've stuck with them over the years. But at this point, I'm just like, I don't know, man. I switched over to PC at this point for the most part. Like, all of my gaming is really done on PC now.
From Rebel Wolf Studio, this is a story-rich action RPG steeped in dark fantasy that I can't wait for you to explore.
Fortunately, I don't feel any better about this new thing. I still don't. She says you can play your entire console library, no, your entire game library everywhere on this device. I don't believe her.
Thank you.
We'll see what happens.
And enjoy the rest of the show.
But she immediately started talking about the Xbox Play Anywhere titles, and my brain immediately went to, wait a minute, that's different than just you being able to play your entire library anywhere. Now this game looks cool. This game looks like, basically looks like a new Witcher, but like it's an original title. And I think it's made by, I could be 100% wrong on this. I think it's actually made by the same dev who actually, one of the devs who worked on The Witcher, but I don't know for sure.
Watching from the shadows, and when we were at our weakest.
Like somebody who used to work for CD Projekt Red left, I think. I'll have to double check that because that could be full of crap.
We should have feared for our souls instead. The vampires didn't come to kill us. No, they came to rule.
To be fair, vampires do like to
turn us
rule.
into mindless, docile cattle.
Trolls, if you will.
Not me, though. They tried to change me into one of them. But I became something else instead.
Which is?
Their worst nightmare.
Even the music sounds like Witcher.
A Dawnwalker.
A Dawnwalker.
Trapped between the two worlds. Fighting to even the score. Fighting to understand the evil behind it all.
He is out there watching, seeping into you, growing.
Very Witcher music. It's gotta be somebody who used to work on the Witcher series. It looks cool.
World premiere.
I'm gonna have to check the Xbox app because I'm curious if they've added more of my library onto the Xbox Play Anywhere. What? Oh. Okay. It's been a long time since I played Super Meat Boy. I don't know if I ever actually finished it. I got quite a ways through it, but I don't remember if I actually. I also wonder if it's like the actual same devs that made it originally. Because I think the original devs who made Super Meat Boy, like 2 guys, and they were working with the XNA framework, and it was amazing just how much they were able to do with that. I've messed with it. It's a nightmare to work with, but that game was very impressive, made by just 2 guys, and they did amazingly well with it. I am very curious if it's still made by the same people, or if it's been handed off to some other studio to essentially continue making that IP. Also, the other thing is, I'm not sure how well it actually translates into 3D. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, that art style was really interesting and unique in the original game. This feels a lot more generic. I don't know what it like. It feels so like I've seen it in a bunch of I've seen this art style in a bunch of other games that kind of did similar things in terms of it being a 3D platformer. Yeah, I don't know what to think. I really don't know what to think. I think I will turn down the volume just a smidge.
Super Meat Boy 3D!
Ooh. Is this another... Is this... Oh, Team Ninja. What?
You're a wanted criminal now.
I'll kill the
Island
Dark
games.
Dragon myself. It's my mission. My duty as a Raven Ninja.
Okay. This is like a new Ninja Gaiden game, or...
Dragon 3 has its consequences.
It's pretty cool.
This is it.
Sayori.
Yes, it is Ninja Gaiden.
There's something
It's gotta
I
be
need
Ninja
your help
Gaiden.
with.
That's pretty cool. The hell? It's like a ghost face within a shark. That's cool. Salmon. Okay.
The Dark Dragon is mine.
Gaiden 4. Proper sequel now. Okay. Also interesting that they put Xbox Game Studios on there. Are they helping to publish it? Or are they just helping to distribute it? Interesting. Bethesda? Okay, what are you presenting now, Bethesda? I heard that this, I have not played it myself. I heard this game was actually much better than people were giving it credit for.
Here we go.
Good luck, Indy.
What are you doing, Jones? Are you crazy?
A new adventure begins. DLC?
This is where it starts.
Why are developers doing this day one with Game Pass thing if it's bad for developers? To be honest, some of them a lot of them are doing it because Xbox owns them. So like all of Bethesda stuff are now being put onto there. Like you look at what's happened with Doom Dark Ages. They did an actual analysis of the actual game sales and where people were playing. And like Xbox, I don't know if it was Xbox or the developers themselves put out this, oh yeah, we reached 3 million players. Okay. 3 million sales would be fantastic for them. Okay. 3 million players, but not sales is not necessarily the case. And they broke and the research actually broke it down. And it was like you had 200,000 on PC. You had about 400,000 on, or maybe it was about 400,000 on PC. 200,000 on PlayStation. And then about 2.4 million on Xbox. Only 200,000 of those had actually bought the game, and 2.2 million actually were playing on Game Pass. So they only actually made about $800,000 or 800,000 sales, right? And the approximate budget, I think, was like 100. It's like 125 to like 200 million. And so with the 800,000 in sales, now keep in mind you have to multiply by 70, which is the new price tag, right? Then you have to divide that, or you have to multiply that by 0.7 because you have to take out what has to go to the market, right? Steam Marketplace takes 30%, so does the Xbox Marketplace, so does the Sony Marketplace, right? So they all take about 30%. So from those sales alone, they only made about 40 million. Okay. Again, their budget, and again, this is all like estimations in terms of their budget. We don't know for sure, but it was like their budget was like 125 to 200 million. 40 million is not going to cut it. Keep in mind, Xbox Game Pass is only charging $15 a month. I think $20 a month if you pay for the Ultimate version, right? And so let's assume they did get the entirety of that $15. I can tell you this much: $15 is not the same. Just to compare how much they would make for a game, is not the same as $50. So 2.2 million. Math here. Assuming they were getting the full $15 from the Game Pass, which I don't think they were, that's only another 33 million. They haven't made enough money between Game Pass and the other sales, partly because Game Pass is in fact cannibalizing their sales. Now, Xbox, with the studios that they own, they're forcing them to do it. Other studios who are small enough think that they're gonna think that it's better to get the guaranteed cash over the potential for sales that never get met. You know what I mean? And so at this point, I feel like a lot of devs are really losing out on the money that they would be making. Now, granted, how many of the players on Game Pass would have played it if it wasn't on Game Pass? Going back to that Doom Dark Ages. We don't know, but I would say probably at least half. I would probably say at least 50% of that. So, yeah, let's say even just a third, right? Let's just say even just a third. A third of 2.2 million is about 700,000 sales. Okay, 733. They would be doubling their sales right now. So you add that to 800,000. They'd be sitting at 1.5 million units sold. And then again, times that by the 49. They would have made 75 million. Still less than what their budget is, but way better than what they were before. I don't know. It's hard for me to say. It really is. Yeah, I suppose it's just the difference between guaranteed money versus not. And again, I wonder how many studios are in fact, and unless they're getting a better deal, I don't know. But I don't think they're making their money back. I really don't.
Beneath the streets of Rome.
And I think a big part of the thing is that Xbox is actually underselling their Game Pass subscription price because they're trying to get people hooked on paying it, such that eventually they can increase that price to then help justify the value that they're actually giving out. Like the price would make sense if it was an archival thing where it's like, oh yeah, let's say after a year or two, then it gets added onto Game Pass. So it's more of a library of older games. And then you treat it, if anything, like, okay, anybody who's on Game Pass gets a 10% discount on games. And then after, say, a year and a half or 2 years, it gets automatically populated. So if you missed out on it when it first came out, now you can get it, 2 years later.
Enter the city of Antioch.
And it's great for Xbox because Xbox gets that money and they're the ones who decide how that money gets divvied out.
Bring it back to the Holy See.
There's like almost no transparency in terms of how they're splitting that money, who they actually determine what, actually deserves to get whatever monies based off the player counts or anything like that. There's zero transparency on that. And I certainly would not believe for a second that they'd be giving 100% of that out. I don't believe that for a second. I believe at best they'd be giving out 50% of whatever they make off of Game Pass to their devs, particularly who release their games day and date. It's the reason why a lot of games are on Game Pass for like 6 months or 6-month intervals. Like not all games get released day and date on Game Pass. A lot of games get released, oh yeah, it's like 6 months later or a year later. Yeah, let's put it on Game Pass for like 6 months. Again, they pay them a certain amount of money. Microsoft pays them a certain amount of money to be able to do that. But the question is, at that point, more likely the case, they probably do get sort of their money's worth from doing that. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Defend the secret. They worshipped the giants.
So I haven't played the original game. Is this? It is. Okay. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, The Order of Giants, a new DLC. Okay, that's kind of cool.
World premiere.
Do they really have to say world premiere?
はるか昔、この国に輪廻の獣が現れた。
Yeah, that's a cinematic.
輪廻の獣は汚れを吐き。
Ooh, okay. Hold on. Wait.
獣は汚れを吐き。
You guys seen Princess Mononoke? This reminds me a lot of Princess Mononoke. There was it's like the god of the forest or the spirit of the forest or something like that, where it's like it's a deer with like a ton of horns, like a ton of antlers. It's like 100 antlers, or something like that. Wherever it steps, when it steps, life grows up. So like all the vegetation around its feet like grow up. And then as it steps off the soil, all that life sort of like fades away. It's really interesting. But this thing, on the other hand, looks corrupted. Game Freak. Wait. Game Freak, as in Pokemon Game Freak? Oh, this is interesting. Wow. I didn't know Game Freak did anything beyond Pokemon. I thought they were just doing Pokemon left, right, and center. That's really interesting. Now, a lot of this feels like cinematics.
西暦4026年人類は滅亡を待つのみ
Oh, it's an anime game. It's an anime game. Game Freak has 3 teams. One for the main series Pokemon, one for Pokemon Revisits, and one for games like this. Interesting. Beast of Reincarnation. That's actually cool. That's actually the coolest trailer I've seen so far. Now, granted, a lot of it feels like cinematics, right? And they do say it's a mix of gameplay and cinematics, but mostly I'm seeing cinematics. But the aesthetic looks really cool, and just the mere idea that Game Freak is actually doing a game with Pokemon, very interesting. And it looks almost like a Dark Souls-esque, or Souls-like, I should say. That looks pretty cool. That looks really cool.
The glittering streets of Avalon sure do shine, because they sweep their filth down to us.
BioShock?
Who's for a paper?
Is this BioShock?
Here's to playing in the mud.
Or like a spiritual successor? Or is this, oh, NX? Wait. I would not have expected to see them. Like, I thought they mainly did like turn-based, like CRPGs type of thing. Man, In Exile. That's interesting. I thought for a second it was either BioShock or that it was, what's that studio? The ones that did the Dishonored franchise. Arcane? I think it's Arcane. Oh well, we'll keep watching.
Life here ain't for the soft-hearted.
You will be paying me
Yeah,
back
this feels like a weird combo of
it ain't for the spineless.
like BioShock meets Dishonored.
That's a clean sweep for one.
There has been a crime! Justice itself has been affronted! I have been burgled!
Lord Griswick.
Burgled!
Yes, I got that part. Do you know anyone who might wish you ill?
Maybe it's just because it's a steampunk aesthetic. Because to be fair, like BioShock, Dishonored, they all have that like they both have that steampunk aesthetic.
Let's see if we can narrow the suspects down a bit.
They were,
Trust your instincts, sir.
tall,
Yes, sir.
built rather slim, well, muscular.
Mm-hmm.
Was very quick, agile.
Go on.
With a mustache. No, larger.
I see.
Quite fashionable. That's the fiend who robbed me.
They got my good side this time. Breaking in is the easy part.
So create your own character?
Brandy, sir.
Getting away with it is the real trick.
Ice
These
King?
candlesticks ain't gold. Worthless and dull, just like you. Nah, I have a customer. How can I help you?
I'd rather talk to you, Errol. Sounds like I'll get a better deal.
You talk to me first, and him never. Got it?
Also, what's going on with his hair? And I'm not talking about the mustache. Like the hair in the back seems to be like moving out like crazy.
There. Anything else you'd care to say to Errol?
Really springy.
Brains. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it.
Round here, it's all sharp edges, empty pockets, and blood on the cobbles. Goodbye, Silas.
No, no! I'll hurt you, you fucking meat sack! I'll leave you with a pissing bed of peaches!
You'd either got a gang at your back, or a knife in it.
We're family here. Family
Are
takes
we
care
winning?
of its
I don't
own.
know.
Can't put a price on that, can you?
Them's in charge. They don't keep order. They keep power.
Take this thing into the crucible and melt it.
A lot of this
just
is like cinematics.
Broken and too scared to fight back.
I don't want to kill him!
That's why it pays to be clever and well armed.
Wow, okay. Full-on weapon customization? I do like that.
Let's go and end a few arguments.
Okay, here we get some gameplay. Okay. Okay, so shooter.
Don't get cocky. They've got a weapon
Considering
far
the,
worse.
the stealth mechanics they seem to show. Huh.
And if they can rewrite history,
Deglaman's here? I don't know.
they can
think so.
rewrite us.
Is Raw Dog here? Raw Dog was here.
But look who just found
There he is.
Mummy's keys.
Also, I forgot to say,
Now I can
hug it,
fiddle
Poopy.
with
How's your night going?
Put the bullet back in the barrel. Bring the chaos to a crawl. Take a mistake and make it like it never happened.
Wow. Okay, so they have like a...
Can change the world.
Gosh, what was that? Prince of Persia Sands of Time mechanic? That's interesting.
As we know it.
Amazing they're even able to get away with doing
choice
that.
at a time. And I can even go back and change the past to change the future.
Wait, is this turning
And
into
let me
a
tell
time?
you, the hunters don't like it when the rabbits
Are they
got the gun.
turning this? Is this like a time travel thing? Change the past. What was that game? There was another one. It's like Time Shift. Came out in like 2009, 2010. Didn't really do well, but it's like similar mechanics though. There's a lot of interesting ideas. Clockwork Revolution. Yeah, a lot of really interesting ideas.
Now let me alone and piss off!
It feels kind of unique. Granted, the setting very familiar. Oh, here's this guy. Is that Phil Spencer? Is that Phil? Get back to that in a second. It is nice to start to see devs starting to do something more interesting than just here's the same 3 games over and over and over again. This feels something different and something unique, but with a lot of like very familiar things from lots of different things. It's weird. It's weird. Weird. Where are you connecting channels? Why are you connecting my channels? What the? To activate chat, please enable channels here. What? Is live. What? What's happening? Is my chat like freaking out? Weird. My chat like missed the last 2 things from Twitch. Wasn't anything crazy. Ellen Fubiwala asking if do crabs have eyebrows? Yeah, only surprised ones, right? So yeah, I mean it's cool to see a game that actually looks unique. Like I said, even though like all the different parts are actually familiar to other things, but it's an interesting combination. So I think that's kind of cool. Let's see what this guy has to say.
Our creative teams are dedicated to bringing
Matt
players
Booty. Okay.
award-winning,
Yeah.
record-breaking,
Matt.
critically acclaimed games. Call of Duty, Black Ops 6 from Activision, Doom, The
Okay.
Dark Ages from Bethesda, Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred from Blizzard.
Oh, Diablo 4. It is actually interesting to see just sort of like the Because like I was just going over Doom Dark Ages, it seems to be kind of flopping. And it seems to be like just a myriad of things adding up together.
And Avowed from Xbox Game Studios.
Avowed, I don't think is doing very well. A lot of people have complained about Avowed, particularly as Obsidian. Like, it feels like a bunch of the different things that Obsidian has done in the past already was way better than the things that they did in this game.
All of our teams across Xbox First Party are shipping their most played games ever, and they're also delivering more content than ever before. From original single-player experiences to vast online worlds, our teams are empowered to build the games.
They're producing a lot. I don't know if they're necessarily making money back.
We want our players to have the choice and flexibility of where and how they play the games our teams make. So, of course,
that
our
Clockwork
games will
Revolution
be
game looks good.
Day one in Game Pass, and every new game we make for both Xbox consoles and PC will be Xbox Play Anywhere. On behalf of our creative teams, thank you. These experiences don't stop when you put down the controller. As you've seen in recent years, more and more of our characters, stories, and worlds are expanding to brand new audiences through TV and film. A Minecraft movie and the Fallout TV series broke records and brought millions of players into the game. We have.
Did the Fallout series actually bring new players to the game? Hold on. Let's take a look at that, shall we? Hold on. Now I got to fact check you right here. Let's take a look at Fallout TV series. What was the release date for that? Release date for season 1. Premiered on April 10th, 2024. Okay, so let's go take a look at SteamDB. Just to check things out. Let's take a look at Fallout 4. Okay, and then we'll take a look at the charts. See, in the last year, it was April 2024. So we don't actually have April. 3 years. Wow, okay. I will say this, there was a pretty big jump. There was a pretty big jump after April. Okay, I'll believe you that. You had the max here. We drop down. So which, to be fair, most games do. Like, most games really do drop down over time. Like, people will either buy things later on or play them slowly over time. Like, there's always generally a big jump right at the beginning, and then things like slow down. And you know what? Like, I think the lowest it got was like 19K from like one. Yeah, there we go. A couple in the teens, and then everything else is like 20, 30K. That's pretty decent for a game that's been out since 2016. That's pretty good. And then Fallout. Now, to be fair, at the same time, they sold a fanatical Fallout bundle, right? So you had that. So obviously there was also like a bunch of sales around the time, but also like it coincides with that. So like how much of that is because of the sale? How much of that is because of the show? We don't know. But I think there is certainly evidence to say that the show helped boost the player count for Fallout. I will absolutely give them that. Let's take a look at Fallout 76. See if they also got a boost or if it was just Fallout 4. In fact, we can do it this way. We can compare those charts. Fallout 4. Add there. Let's do Fallout 3. Can I get 4? Oh, I can. Very nice. So just the classic, right? 3, New Vegas, 76, 4. These are all the ones that were like pretty major for Xbox for a long time. Fubi hated the Fallout series. The games are better. Agreed. Except Fubi not. Okay, no, I'm not 100% agreed. I agree that the games are better. I didn't hate the show. I thought the show was good. I thought the show had problems, but I thought the show was overall a good experience. What and the area under the curve? It's just the curve is just the player count at the time. Or are you talking about the actual mathematical idea there in terms of your acceleration and whatnot? Okay, so it looks like blue is Fallout 3. Fallout 3 did not get a major boost. Let's just try and pull it back to it's like right there, so we can see sort of what happened. New Vegas got a boost. Fallout 4. Fallout 4 seemed to get the biggest boost. Then it was 76 after that. And then New Vegas, and then 3 finally. But to be fair, 3 had not been working properly on PC for a very long time. So that makes sense. But it's still, yeah. Okay. He's not full of crap. I will give him that. I don't think Minecraft is on Steam. They've marked that as suspicious. That's funny. But let's take a look at dungeons and story mode. I'm curious to see if they when was the Minecraft movie? That was a lot closer. This year, wasn't it? It's 2025. What was the release date? April 2025. Let's go to this 1 year. The movie didn't really see a bump here, but I don't know how many people actually play it on Steam. Oh, this is Dungeon, so yeah, that's a lot harder to actually compare, but it is interesting. I'll give him that. Don't forget. Wait, what? What is the area under the curve? The integral. Yes, that's accurate. Don't forget the plus C. Correct. That's true.
More projects in the works as gaming continues to influence film and television like never before. When it comes to growing new franchises, Obsidian is having a year like no other. From launching a blockbuster new game like Avowed to the upcoming release of The Outer Worlds 2 this
I think will do way better than Avowed.
Obsidian is always delivering
I think it'll do way
games,
better than Avowed.
and they
I hope
have
it does.
a third game launching this year. You'll get to go deeper on it in our direct.
They're releasing
but
2
until
games this
then,
year?
Let's take a look.
World premiere.
World premiere. The guy sounds so bored when he says that. Like they couldn't at least try to ape the Halo world premiere. You know, they could have done the Halo announcer guy or something. Instead, it's just some basic world premiere.
I told you, you can't run from me, you foul beast!
The hell?
With new flexible legs, the yoke girth action figure can ride anything!
Breaking news. There's been an explosion at Brook Hollow Park. Chaos descended on a ceremony commemorating the 2-year anniversary of when 4 teenagers were miniaturized against their will and left to fight for their survival in the backyard of a deranged scientist. Formerly evil company Ominent Practical Technologies was set to dedicate a statue of the 4 teenagers, fast food science robot Burgle, and Dr. Tully when an explosion erupted. Dr. Tully and the teenagers' current whereabouts are also unknown.
Let me guess, they were shrunk again, but now instead of in a backyard, it's on a street or something like that. And of course, they have to use the copyrighted music.
You gotta keep them separated.
It's just Grounded too. They're shrunk again in a new area, so then they gotta rebuild everything. That's why you have to start over again. An epic new game. Scorpions now. Yeah, that's true. Were there not scorpions in the first game? I never got the appeal. I never got the appeal of Grounded myself, so I never got it. But what do you think? Like, it seems like Darth Phazon seems that it looks pretty cool. Will be rebooted. Did Green get the Plessy? I did get the Plessy reference. Yes.
ND3500 reached.
Phazon. So do you think that Grounded 2 looks good? Like, what do you think? I have no opinion on it because, again, it's never appealed to me. Oh, this is Bloober Team. Oh, my coworker's gonna love this. She loves Bloober Team. They're her favorite ever. Grounded's like one of the few survival crafting nonsense games that I'm actually interested in. Really? Okay. Nice.
I have encountered an unprecedented orphan.
So seeing a sequel makes me more likely to pick up the original. Nice. Okay.
Recomposition.
The behavior pattern of the orphans populating the area is highly unusual.
Oh, this seems like some sort of weird Dead Space copy? Or is this actually a Death? No, it's not a Dead Space game. But I think Bloober Team. Hold on. They do the Dead Space remake? Developed by EA Mode. So no, they did not. But this looks like it's just like copy and pasted from Dead Space, but just different aesthetic. Now it's like some weird sci-fi rather than just full sci-fi. I don't know. It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but with survival. Yeah, exactly. Even then, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was kind of survival, so.
They seem to act more consistently, in coordination.
Destroying the nest is now a priority.
Oh my.
Such is our calling. Such is our calling.
Kronos New Dawn. I'll have to talk to my coworker about that. She loves Bloober Team and anything they do. Bethesda. Okay, let's see what Bethesda has to present now. Is there a new update for Skyrim? Or not Skyrim, no, it's ESO. I was trying to say Starfield, but my brain said Skyrim. This is ESO. Are they shutting down the servers? Hold on. I don't think they'd be doing that. Create your own story. Is this just like a generic ad for ESO, or is this like, are they trying to release a new update? This feels like it's more generic. You belong here. Not sure if I really do. I think I'd rather just go hang out in Skyrim some more. Or the Oblivion remake. Band together for Tamriel's first world-changing server-wide event. Take down the writhing wall this October. Okay. That's a new event. That's something new that they've advertised, but this feels like just a generic Season of the Worms Cults. Another expansion.
World premiere.
It felt weird. Like, most of that just seemed like just generic come hang out in ESO, which again, not bad.
Made it!
Mayday! Hold one to mission control. We're falling.
Crashing, I think, is more accurate.
Thomas, the ship's breaking apart. There's no time. Evacuate now. Thomas, come in.
Ariane, you sacrificed everything for a new world to save mankind. And I'll always love you for that.
Don't nod. Oh, yeah. Like a new survival game. I don't know if it's story per se. I don't know if there is a story or if it's just more survival. I don't know. This feels like there is a story. In fact, it feels almost like a weird combo of like Subnautica meets like Satisfactory. Although maybe not, because I don't know if you have any like of the crafting automation that you can set up. This feels like a story version of Subnautica, I should say that. I think that's more accurate. Subnautica actually felt cinematic.
Wherever you are, I'll find you.
Aphelion. Aphelion? I don't know how to say that. Again, it felt more like it's just one big cinematic than actual gameplay. What? Oh, okay. Doesn't seem horrible, but again, just felt. Yeah, that ending was interesting. Just some random guy popping up. I don't know if that was the guy she was supposed to be talking to, but he's in trouble from the sounds of it. Yeah, that again, it's another cinematic for the most part. Like maybe you could say some of that stuff was game footage, but it didn't feel like it. A lot of it felt very cinematic. Like it was just pre-recorded stuff. Interesting aesthetic. I want to see what the actual gameplay is. Like, what do you, or is it just like is it just basically a story game? I don't know.
Welcome to England, Mr. David. I know this must be a shock, having never met your real father, but he left you this hotel in his will. It's been in your family for generations. Much like the caretaker. He's a little eccentric. You'll see.
Let me welcome you to the grand.
Wait, really? Really? There's 2 Aphelions coming soon on Steam. Let's take a look at that. Thank you for the heads up on that. Let's take a look. Oh, speaking of which, Stellar Blade out on Steam. If you guys are interested, there's always that. Aphelion. There are 2. What the hell? So this one, that's the one that we just saw the ad for, the top one. Let's take a look at this one. Aphelion, coming soon by Evil Bunny. This looks like a space flight sim. Potentially trying to copy. Maybe not. Maybe not. I take it back. I was about to say maybe copying No Man's Sky in terms of that. I look at this, right? I look at this image. That kind of looks like the station from No Man's Sky, but everything else looks more like just a standard flight sim, just with their own designs, unique designs. Open the command chair and strap in, explore vast. Yeah, it's just like a 4X flight sim type of game. Which is very different than what we just saw, which is like a survival game. I know I discussed with Steve, but did I tell you about Year 3's reveal for? Yes, I believe you did. I believe you did. What was the reveal again, though? I don't really pay that much attention to Street Fighter 6, but I am curious now that you bring it up. I think they were doing a new character, but weren't they doing something with the gameplay? Am I wrong on that?
A hotel famous across the land.
Every room used to be in such high demand. Your wish our command here at the Grand.
Well, hello there. It looks like you're about to do some renovations. Would you like some help with that?
Oh my gosh. It's literally just like hotel renovation.
When he disappeared? Not just the hotel. He was helping the entire village. You have his power tools. You know, you could pick up where he left off. You seem like a good man, like he was.
I'm in. They don't suspect a thing.
Weird. This looks like this looks like one of those games where it's like Power Wash Simulator or like House Flipper or something like that, but like done by a bigger studio with a bigger budget. That makes sense. Whereas like Power Wash Simulator and like House Flipper and whatnot, it seems like they're all done by like 3 people. It looks like it's done by a much bigger studio.
Just make sure the locals don't get wind of what you're really up to. Because if they find out, they will wicker man your ass.
You keep looking into things, and things are gonna start looking back. Don't make the same mistake your father made.
Oh my.
The only one you can really trust is me.
And a talking cat. Sagat for summer this year. Crimson Viper for autumn. Alex for early spring next year. Ingrid for... I don't know who Ingrid is. Who's Ingrid? I'm also not familiar with Crimson Viper. I know Alex and Sagat, though. Sagat's coming very soon since he had actual gameplay in the reveal trailer. That's cool. Weird. It's like something from like, gosh, what's that? Anna Karenina Games or something like that. It looks interesting. That game, I don't know really what it is. Hold on. There are no ghosts at the Grand. It's weird. It doesn't look bad. It just looks weird. So, Crimson Viper was the American Cammy equivalent in Street Fighter 6. Sorry, Street Fighter 4. Okay.
There are as many gods in the world as there are stars in the heavens. And when we need their help, they send us a hero. Who would have guessed the defender of my homeland would be my daughter?
She unlocked the heavenly spear, but is she worthy?
Age of Empires? Age of Mythology? Or what's it wasn't Age of Empires, no, it was Age of Mythology, wasn't it? What game is this? Yeah, Age of Mythology, okay. Retold. Okay, so remake. Interesting. I was right on it being Age of Mythology. Yeah, this is our first in-game return since... Oh, cool. Nice. Ingrid was a side character from Capcom Fighting Evolution, who the devs have been trying to get into the main Street Fighter series since. Street Fighter 6 will be her debut in a 3D game since she was only in 2D games. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
주권 국가의 자주적 결정을 누가 허락하는가? 만약 이 결정이 패권 국가의 특정 정치 집단의 이익을 저해한다.
Korean? There's some interesting Korean games coming out recently.
대중의 의사 결정에 영향을 미칠 수 있으며 반대로 누군가는 당신의 의사결정에 영향을 주려 한다는 것을 인지할 때 자신만의 온전한 입장을 세울 수 있지 않을까. 당신의 입장은 온전한 본인의 판단인가? 그렇게 믿고 있거나 믿고 싶을 뿐.
This looks like a detective story, kind of like a Lost Judgment. Maybe not. Oh, we got tanks and whoa, whoa. Stealth game? Like a Splinter Cell? Never mind. I thought it was gonna be like a detective game. Instead, no, it's a full-on like stealth combat. Zombies? Oh.
당신의 분노는 스스로 결정한 것인가? 누군가 당신의 분노를 이용한다.
Dude, what?
지정태. 지정태.
That's kind of cool. Dude, the Korean studios are pulling out some great stuff. Holy crap. Apparently her source of power is not the traditional soul power or psycho power, but something else entirely. And that's coming straight from Street Fighter 6 director Takayuki Nakayama. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Did you ever watch that Street Fighter anime from like, it was like the 90s? Super good. But they talked a bit about that, like the soul power versus the psycho power and stuff like that. Really interesting. Good anime too. Yeah. But yeah, that last one, that Korean game. Hold on. Madang Two Hearts. Udang. That looks really interesting. This looks really, really interesting. I can't tell if it's horror. It is definitely stealth. There's like some sort of weird like zombie virus where people are like aggressively attacking people. You've got what I thought was like a detective game at the beginning and then suddenly transitions into like, no, it's a stealth military game. It's really interesting. Kind of like a spiritual successor to like a Metal Gear. Interesting to see. Hey, Spiniest Thor, how you doing, buddy? I saw it. What did you see? Yeah, they went into Soul Power. Oh, you saw the anime? Yeah, that anime was nice. They went into Soul Power and Psycho Power a bit with Bison's addition to Street Fighter 6 2. Nice. They're opposite. Soul Power being ordered and peaceful, premiere. Psycho Power being chaos and right. Oh, I remember seeing an ad. Is it not out yet?
Novo.
Wait, didn't they show this last year? I'm confused. Oh, is this a sequel? Yeah, this feels like a sequel. I like it. This looks actually really interesting. Kind of makes me want to play the first game. Okay, that was some interesting combat there. Planet of Lana 2, Children of the Leaf. That looks pretty cool. I didn't realize that the first game was going to be like that. It feels very reminiscent of like Limbo and gosh, what was the other game that they did? Not they, but you know, whoever the devs were. Where it? Oh, Let's get out of it. Well, there was Limbo, but who are the devs behind it? Because they did Limbo and then they did another game. Playdead, that's right. It was Playdead that did it. I don't know if they did Inside. Inside was their other game. But like these games, like very atmospheric platformers. Except this one is a lot more lighthearted, and it looks like it's not associated with the team that did Playdead, but it's very similar in style and in gameplay mechanics. Like it's a very atmospheric platformer. Everything's side-scrolling, even though it is in fact thoughtful and wistful. Thunderful, sorry. It looks cool. I think it looks cool. First game 75% off for $5 or for $5 right now. Ooh, that's cool. When Bison studied soul power under the same master as Rose, he found out about psycho power. He expanded his control of soul power and replaced it with psycho power. His master tried to stop him, only for Bison to commit his first murder and start his long path to Shadaloo. Okay. Also earned him Rose's hatred as well. Sure. Okay, nice thing from Bethesda. Oh gosh.
Well, hello there. Beautiful day to relax by the old fishing hole, wouldn't you say? When it comes to fishing, Appalachia is a land aswim with opportunity. Yes, you'll find fish of all flavors in every walk of waterway, from its mightiest of rivers to its humblest of ponds. Just step up to the bank, cast your line, and when your bobber starts bobbing, reel in the rewards. What do you got on there, Jed?
Worms!
They needed an ad for this.
Today? See for yourself.
Bagging the big fish starts with finding the right tools for the job. There are as many unique combinations of rods, reels, bobbers, and baits as there are fish in the sea. And when you've caught your fill, pop over to the local tackle shop to swap fish tails.
This is kind of the last thing I wanted to see from Bethesda.
No matter what troubles plague
Probably
the
because I just
wastelands
don't
of
care about
Appalachia,
76.
you can always find comfort.
I tried, and I put in a fair amount of hours into it.
You just got to know where to look.
I didn't
Vault
care about the
Life
story.
is your ticket to easy living.
So then just saying, oh
Design
yeah,
and build
here's
your
a
own
new
little slice of paradise.
We know. You
A
can already
place to
design and
show
build your own
off
little slice
all
of
the bits
paradise.
and bobs you collect in your travels. Got a green thumb? Plant your own peaceful vegetable garden. And nothing warms the heart like a neighborhood cookout. Ah, community makes a wasteland a waste home.
Hard as hell, yeah.
Join today. And tomorrow you'll be kicking back and sharing a meal with friends in beautiful Appalachia.
Boo! It's literally just here's
Fuck Indiana Jones, put a ticket in and make her name it gay!
Surprisingly, they didn't pull that meme. They did not pull that meme. This is just dumb for the sake of being dumb. Oh my gosh.
World premiere.
Anime game? Okay. Is it actually an anime game based on an anime, or is it just... don't recognize it. So maybe. Or those could just be part of an existing franchise. I don't know. There's so many anime games out there that I actually have not played, which is actually kind of weird considering I am kind of a weeb. 4-player co-op, okay. So, Monster Hunter clone? That's what this looks like. Monster Hunter clone. That guy looks cool. I'll give him that. Arise, and then everybody kneels. Solo leveling. Arise. Okay, is this... Okay. Let's take a look at this. What is solo leveling? Is that like a franchise that's already existing or no? It is an anime, in fact. Okay. Also, it's a Korean anime. Okay. Solo leveling, also alternatively translated as Only I Level Up. It's a South Korean portal fantasy web novel. So it's a manga? It was serialized, blah, 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 2016, blah, 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 later published under blah, 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 2016, blah, blah, blah. A webtoon. A webtoon, you mean an anime adaptation? Illustrated. What? Webcomic. Understand. Is it an anime or not? That's all I care about. Yes. Okay. Yes. Available on Crunchyroll. Literally just came out. Or not just came out. The first season just finished in March of this year. First episode came out in January of last year. Okay. And now there's a game spinoff. Cool. Awesome. Thank you for... Okay, hold on. Solo leveling Arise. So this is actually a remake? It's on the series. It was released in May. Really? So it's so this one's called Solo Leveling Arise Overdrive. Is it a remake? This feels like a remake. I do, yes, it's based on Solo Leveling. Okay. Technically no, but yes, like Avatar. Yeah. They have an IDGB. Yeah, they do. It's on Steam. It's on Steam. Wait. This is Overdrive. Okay. Okay, this is Solo Leveling Arise Overdrive. Interesting. Interesting. It's coming out this year. Okay. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Anime. Yeah, so it's an anime action RPG, which who knows what the hell that's even supposed to mean. Is this like... It's a Souls-like according to them, but it's also like a... Just from what it looks almost like a... like a Monster Hunter clone. To be fair, Monster Hunter clones are kind of like Souls-like games. Not because like you don't like with Monster Hunter, the games that I've played, you don't die a million times just to try and kill the boss once. Normally you're fighting and re-killing bosses over and over again so you can farm stuff from them. Weird. Okay, interesting. Sounds like a right. Yeah, it sounds like basically like a re-release or yeah, not quite a remake, but yeah, like a re-release for other versions. So yeah, Xbox, PC, Steam. So it sounds like it came out on something else. It doesn't actually say what it was released. Announced that they were developing Solo Leveling. Doesn't say released on May 8th, but it doesn't actually say what console it's for. The App Store. Like a web game? Weird, yeah. It's literally a phone game. I don't know how I feel about that. Weird. And now they're bringing it to PC and Xbox. It's an interesting move. It's a bold move, Cotton. See if it plays out for him. Looks interesting. Oh, for PlayStation 2. Okay. I'm laughing. Booby, I'm hungry for Subway.
Premiere.
Subway's actually pretty... Okay. I love-hate, really. I don't mind Subway in terms of the concept, right? It's delicious sandwiches, right? The problem is that, like, I was so over, like, back when my dad used to have his company, we had Subway, like, every day. Every day. And I got so fed up with Subway. Is the only... I haven't had it for years. To the point where I'm just like, I will not go to Subway. Every once in a while, I'll just be like, oh, randomly, let's go get a Subway. But like the rest of the time, I'm just like, no, thank you. I do not want Subway. Thank you, but no, thank you. Oh my gosh. Subway's okay. It's no Jersey Mike's, but it's... I think I've been to Jersey Mike's like once. Maybe it might not have even been Jersey. So maybe... I'm trying to move away from the breads, though. That's the problem. I only go Wednesdays. Okay. The hell? Okay, some sort of cutesy... Ooh, oh, I remember hearing people talking about this a little. This is like, yeah. This is Xbox's new weird Pokemon game. Or a Pokemon clone. I wonder if Nintendo will sue Microsoft over this. What was that? Hold on. Did she just... No, I'm not, no. This is a little loud. So you can capture these monster creatures. You can kind of become them and control them. But this feels like Pokemon. What is it called? Oh gosh, stop doing the volume. Hold on. Anemo? Animo. No idea if I'm saying that correctly. How long do you think before Nintendo sues them? Anyway, I'm a picky eater. I don't do sandwiches. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Why is that? Like, what do you not like about sandwiches? I used to love sandwiches. I think my problem is that, like, I'm trying to move right now. My problem is that I'm trying to move away from carbs. Oh, gosh. Yes, okay. I'm excited for this one. That's not... Annie, exclamation point, Mo. That's horrible. Okay, so Animo. Yeah. What's the overrun? I'd say a year. I say a year from now, Nintendo's going to be like, oh, we copyrighted capturing Pokemon and battling with them. Depends on how successful it is. If it's like really successful, Nintendo will be suing as soon as they can. Just fast food sandwich. Oh, I see. That's not a bad, you know, it's not a bad stance to take.
Everyone, it's Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I just want to say thanks to everyone for all the love and support we've seen since we announced Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 a few months ago. These games have changed my life, but more than that, I've seen them help
they made him a household
love
name.
and appreciation for skating all over the world, and that means everything to me and the team. I can't wait for you all to experience the game.
And
it's been rebuilt.
I played
with so
1 and
much care
2.
attention to detail.
1 and 2
With
was
some
actually a
brand new parts,
fantastic
new
remake
music,
of
new
that game,
skaters,
of those
and
two
more.
games.
You can enjoy it all with your
I think they
friends
did
with
such a
8 players and multiplayer.
ridiculously good
Tony Hawk's
job.
Pro Skater 3 and
I'm
4 officially
interested to
drops
see
July
how this
11th.
one turns
We have
out.
a lot more surprises to
But I feel like they
Check out
did
the
such a
launch
good with the
trailer
first with 1 and 2 that I would probably check this one out. Man, I feel for Tony. He is old right now. Dude, yeah, it happens, man. You get old, it sucks. Yeah, he's getting up there. I don't even know how old he is now. He's got to be like in his what, 50s? Even 60s? I don't even know, man. Hold on. I'm gonna have to look it up. Now I'm gonna have to. I'm sorry, Tony. I have to look up. How old are you? Fuck. Holy. He's born in 68, so like 50 something. What's his age? I don't want to do the math. I'm tired right now. I just don't want to do the math. Just tell me how old he's. 57. Yeah. He's looking really gray in that from that thing. Nothing to be gray. Gray is way better than going bald, trust me. But yeah. Nintendo might go for a quid pro quo, port some Xbox games to Switch too. To be honest, I think Xbox would be perfectly fine with that. So yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Hey, Magus. So you get in the ROG Ally Xbox thing? Maybe. I don't know. I still don't like. First of all, that Sarah Bond lady was the one who actually came out and did, and she was the old sort of like head of their DEI division or whatever the hell it was called back in the day. Their diversity division. And now she's like president of Xbox, which seems like such a weird promotion. So she was the one who presented it. She gave kind of some mixed signals because first she's all like, oh yeah, you can play your entire library on this machine. Which makes me think you can play your entire library from the console on this machine. But then she started talking about like the Xbox Play Anywhere and started using that interchangeably. And so now my question is, are they adding new titles to the Xbox Play Anywhere feature? Or do they really mean it when they say you can play your entire library anywhere? Because that's what I think they should do. But the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking that essentially what they're doing is they're just they're having it run on its own OS, and it's just going to use the Xbox app that's on your PC, and they might be adding more titles from the archive into the Xbox Play Anywhere feature, such that you can now play more of your older game. I don't know. I really don't know. And for me, that's the biggest problem, is that I don't know. I don't know if that really means that I can play my entire, because as I was saying earlier, I have a very large library of games on my Xbox console. And part of the reason why I kept going with the Xbox console is because I have such a dedicated library there. So 20 years ago, yes, I would buy it, but I only play games on days I don't work. And that's understandable. That's very understandable. But I do like the fact that the consoles are starting to do more of this sort of like hybrid handheld mobile console thing. It'll be interesting to see how well that pans out for them. Yeah, we're looking at this. I really like their first remake. Their remake of Pro Skater 1 and 2. So I'm hoping they put the same amount of care into remaking this one as they did in 1 and 2. They did such a fantastic job of that one. How's your night going, Magus? I hope you're doing all right. What you been up to, man? hell? Is this like a Ninja Turtles costume, or are you the actual character? Because it looks kind of like a costume on your character rather than like you're actually playing the character. And I played a lot of time, though. I spent a lot of time with 3 in particular. I don't think I spent all that much time with 4. Because after they did 4, they ended up doing, I want to say, they ended up doing Underground after that one. They did Underground 1 and 2 after that one. Night's long. Night's going well. Just streaming Cyberpunk some more. Nice. Enjoy the journey. How far are you? I actually saw a little bit. Hold on. I saw a little bit of your stream earlier. You hit that mission where you were trying to get some of Johnny's old music, and you were needing to. So it seems like you're getting back into the story again. But yeah, it's a good one. Now you're laughing some more. Why? Why are you laughing? Ooh, that looks cool. Interesting art style. Well, I'm level 41 now, but haven't really done much story. Yeah. Well, that's what happens. You're doing side quest the game. Classic CD Projekt Red. You know, all their games are essentially side quest the game, and then you finally get to the story. Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay. That was weird. Oh, muffins, you haven't grown an inch. I'm like, what is happening? And then sis, I'm like, okay, that's. Wait, so she's a brunette in one instance and then a platinum blonde in another? Is there like some sort of like dual world situation going on? Where like her hair color changes depending on like which world she's in? Confront your sister. What? Wait, it's a card? It's a deck building game? Oh, that's interesting. Weird. I don't know what to think about it. It's kind of cool. I like the visual aesthetics. The character designs are really interesting. The art style is cool. I just don't care about deck builders. You know, if I'm gonna play a deck building game, I might as well play like Magic. Which I'm starting to get back into Magic a little bit. But I'd rather just play Magic than that. But I don't know, it looks cool. Looks actually pretty cool. I like that. I think it's a magic power thing. I think so too. Nerd! I know. I'm sorry. I am a nerd. I'm a massive nerd. Ah, Gears of War. Wasn't that from 1? They're re-releasing it because they have no new ideas. I thought they already had a re-release. Hold on. Wait just a gosh darn second here. I thought they already had a re-release of Gears of War. Am I wrong on that? I thought they did a re-release on the Xbox One where it was like a Gears 1, 2, and 3. Oh, for crying out loud. I was wanting the Wikipedia page. I'm just dumb. Don't get me wrong. The first game is phenomenal. Really, that first trilogy is phenomenal. It was 4, 5, and Judgment that were weird. Although Judgment was kind of better than 4. I have 5, but I've yet to play it. No. There, you had the Ultimate Edition. Okay. 2015, Microsoft announced a remaster of Gears of War entitled Gears of War Ultimate Edition. It brought a number of improvements, including updates to gameplay, Now they're doing Reloaded 10 years later. Do we really need yet another? They're re-releasing it, right? I think Xbox gave me a free code because I have the Ultimate Edition. No, they only ever remade one. I see. They haven't done anything with any of the other. No, they haven't. They haven't. Why are they remaking? I thought they had re-released. I thought as part of the Ultimate Edition they had re-released 2 and 3 as well. Oh my gosh. And Reloaded is going to be on PlayStation 5. That's an interesting move. That's a really interesting move. Why are you putting your one of your mainline franchises, one of the biggest games? It's like it's Halo and Gears are like the 2 main franchises that Xbox still has left in their corner that people love. And for whatever reason, they're releasing this on PlayStation. That seems kind of odd. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't help that they have screwed over. They really have. They've screwed over their exclusives to where they said either our exclusives need to be all games as a service. So we're going to try and force people to be constantly playing these specific games. The problem is that you can't do that. You oversaturate the market. You know, games as a service is like multiplayer gaming. And Adam Sessler, before he lost his mind, had made a pretty good analogy. Whereas like your single player games are like flings. You can have them pretty often, but your multiplayer games are like dedicated relationships. You aren't constantly playing a bunch of different massive multiplayer games. You're playing 1 or 2 tops. You're not regularly hopping between tons and tons of different multiplayer games, particularly when it's like competitive multiplayer. So in that vein, the games as a service type games are kind of similar to that, where they require a large amount of time. They're generally, you know, you gain perks and things like that as you play throughout the game. You normally have some sort of like multiplayer aspect to it. It does not make any sense why they decided to push so many of their exclusives as being games as a service rather than making a very cool story-driven game or making a very cool, like another Gears of War. And instead of doing that, instead of making Gears of War 6 or making even just a new Gears of War, no. Now they're just retreading the same thing they already retreaded 10 years ago. Which, gosh, I'm getting old because that means we're pretty close to like 20 years of Gears of War. I think Gears of War came out in 2006, if I remember reading correctly. And so we're nearly at the 20-year mark for Gears of War. And I was out of high school. I graduated high school. At that point.
Look who decided to show up. It's time, baby.
You think you can still find your way back home, Phoenix?
Looks like they up.
4K. Yeah, Xbox really is turning into Sega. I think Reloaded is all 3 together, and I rather like Judgment. Judgment was okay. I didn't have any major problems with Judgment. It was just, it felt... It's hard for me to say exactly how it felt, but like... It was way better than 4 and 5. I'm trying to rethink it because I played it with a friend. But the thing is that I just know it was a prequel. You dealt mainly with Baird and Cole and 2 other characters. I can't remember what the other 2 characters are. It was like Baird and Cole's adventure. So, I don't know.
Form up!
So is it really all 3? Hold on. This doesn't look like all 3. This looks like the first game.
Form up!
premiere.
I wonder if that means Rareware will get to work on more Nintendo stuff now. Maybe. Another anime game. It's a scary anime game. I take it back. Maybe not. Persona. I have absolutely no idea about Persona. So they're releasing Persona 4 on Xbox. Which is weird considering that Persona 5 is another game that exists. Is Persona 5 on? Hold on. Now, again, I'm going to be questioning. Persona 5 on Xbox? 2016. Hold on. What about Royal? It is on Xbox. Okay. The Royal was, I see. It was the release dates. Okay, so it was originally released on PS3, PS4. Persona 5 Royale was on PS4 and then Nintendo Switch, PS5. Okay. So it's interesting. Okay. I just thought that was kind of weird that they were doing Persona 4. Palin, PA something? Yeah. Paddock and Hendrick were in Judgment. Yes, okay. Yeah. I think you're right. Paddock was an ex-UIR and Hendrick was an Onyx Guard initiate. Yeah. Hendrick got off screen, killed, I think, which was cheap. Yeah. Persona 4 Remake was spoiled before it was released. Yeah. Paddock, I knew it had a PA. Right? Oh, man. Back to it.
The Smugglers League is always there. But you won't see us.
Sea of Thieves.
You won't.
Game as a service.
And the only
to be fair, so Sea of Thieves had just such a weird, because it was so empty at first. They've added a lot of stuff now, but I've just never had any interest to go back. Alien King and a couple of his buddies have been playing it. Yeah, I haven't had any interest to go back, and the fact that they're still keeping going with it, it's just more of the game as a service stuff.
As if that's what we wanted.
Yeah, let's continue this train at this point, right?
As smugglers, we deal in the goods others are afraid to handle. Guns, explosives.
And don't forget the rum.
It's a life of danger like no other. So
Persona's one of those franchises I see all the time, but don't really care about yet. Maybe Persona 6 is unique enough, but right now. Sea of Thieves is Rareware's work. Yes, it is. It's a decent game, but honestly, a waste of time.
This is what we're really after.
Accurate. That's pretty accurate.
The better. Smugglers need to be adaptable. It's more than moving under moonlight and shadows.
I feel like them, constantly being stuck working on this game. I wonder how many games have we missed out on because they haven't actually.
Stealing, of course, is always an option. Just do whatever it takes to get.
As they've been stuck on this, I wonder how many games we've missed out on.
You are pirates, after all.
Welcome, my friends.
Also, the stealing mechanic, they've had stealing other people's treasures since day one. It was one of the most obnoxious things ever. But yeah, it's been around since forever. Why are they?
To the Smugglers League. You're paying for that.
Season 17. Oh my gosh. How many seasons now? Don't care. I don't care about Sea of Thieves anymore.
world premiere.
Was it necessary? Was it necessary to add the effing? Pretty bad enough that you're kind of boring with every time you say world premiere. And now you just world effing premiere.
Hope you're not in a hurry because northbound is backed up all the way to 18th Street, and the southbound ain't looking much better.
This is ridiculous.
Oh gosh, it's another one of these like 12 FPS per second animation styles. Stop with it.
Please, come on.
Are you one of them? You're here, but
Skybound, so that means it's another one of these Telltale style, no real gameplay point, like it's kind of a point and click adventure. Which also makes perfect sense as to why it's running at 12 FPS. Look at that. You can, oh my gosh, it's invincible. Okay. Okay.
Had enough yet?
Skybound's really falling for the same issues as Telltale. Let's just buy out every freaking license we can because kicks and giggles. Make our game super expensive because instead of making original titles, we're just going to take existing IPs and constantly be just not retreading, but constantly telling stories that have already been told in other mediums and making a game from it, which means you're going to have to spend a shit ton of money to get that license.
No, Dad, not even close.
And why is it 12 FPS? I can see the frames. Am I wrong on this? I can see the damn frames. Are animation studios just like incapable of doing smooth animation these days? What is happening? Maybe I'm being a little harsh simply because like all the other things that I've seen tonight have not had. So maybe not all the animation studios, but like this is, stop it. Seek help. Choo choo, yeah. Now I personally have no connection to. Hold on. Isn't his costume? I've never read the comic book. I've not seen the TV show. I don't know anything about this universe, so I can't say whether or not this is good or bad. Isn't his costume supposed to be red and white? Like he's got like a red sort of like liner, so it's like red around the collar, and then it's like red down the middle.
Accept our
it's Ultraman, right?
Or die.
Like that is. Like, I didn't think it was like all white. I thought it was like red and white.
I'm not your son anymore.
Might be an alternate world thing, maybe.
I'm going to throw you off this planet for good.
Also, isn't that his dad?
I trusted you.
What? This is a fighter? Okay, I don't hate this anymore. And why the animations look so much smoother in the game? What the hell? Omni-Man is his name. Is in his Ultramite Soldier outfit. I see. You know what I mean? I don't know the universe, but I just know like I've watched. Or not watched. I've seen enough of the memes. I've seen enough of the images of what Ultraman looks like and what his costume looks like. And so, like, when I see him in all white, I'm like, ooh, that doesn't seem right. This could be kind of cool. This could actually be kind of cool. Like a fighting game based on the Invincible franchise. I think it's actually kind of cool. And it's got like the Marvel vs. Capcom sort of feature of you choose different, like 3 different allies, and then you can like switch them out mid-fight. No matter what. Okay, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I for a second there, I was expecting it to be another Telltale Games. And then not only just expecting that, but also expecting it to be one of these like animation styles running at 12 FPS, which I hate. I really, really hate. And okay, the gameplay saved it for me. Omni-Man. Ultraman is Superman. I'm sorry. You're right. You're 100% right. Superman. Okay, this is the remake. Is the remake not on Xbox? Wait. Is the remake really not on Xbox? Weird. Okay.
I'm here to even the odds. Any objections?
What? Wait.
Know your place, little lamb. There's no one to save you now.
Is this 16? I think this is 16. I still haven't even beaten 15. I still haven't beaten 7, like the original 7. I played 7 quite a bit, but I never beat it. I played 8, I played 9, I played 10. 10 I played the most. I got right to the end, but wasn't able to finish it. I played like 5 seconds of 11, and it was never. Yeah, it's 16. 16 is not on the Xbox yet? Really? Very interesting. Okay. Earth 3. Yeah. No, it's on PC. No, I know it's on PC. I just didn't know it wasn't on Xbox. I thought it was on Xbox.
World premiere.
Still waiting for Kingdom Hearts 4 to get news. Almost 4 years. Dude, they took them years to get 3. So, I mean, 4 years is nothing compared to how long it took them to get 3. Oh my god, Double Fine is still alive? I thought they were dead. I thought their studio died. But they released Psychonauts 2, and then I haven't seen anything from them in a long time. Double Fine has some very interesting and quirky games, but they also did some stupid stuff with like Space DF9 was an interesting early access game, but they just like abandoned it. Just kind of garbage. It's like not a complete game. It sucks. But I mean, Double Fine does some very interesting like indie games. This could be cool. This just seems like a puzzler, which, you know what, I'm actually fine with that. It's been a long time since we've seen some like just nice classic puzzle games, like just puzzle adventure games, I should say. Final Fantasy confused the hell out of me as I can't figure out the story for all 13 games. Each one is in their own world, like they're not connected. Or do you mean each individual? The Keeper. That's. I think that kind of looks cool. Or do you mean as in like you couldn't get in, like for each individual game you can't figure out the story? The name is more confusing. Why call Final Fantasy if you're going to keep making more? Right? It's inherently oxymoronic. Yes, 100%. There's good old Phil Spencer.
Psychonauts 2 showed how Double Fine excels at creating unique and innovative experiences.
He's now the CEO of Microsoft Gaming.
Looking ahead, next year marks 25 years of Xbox. It's a big milestone for the platform and franchises that you helped build and make popular. We couldn't have done this without everyone who's been with us on this journey. As we think about bringing a new generation of players to these iconic franchises, I'm excited to share that players will get to celebrate 25 years of Xbox with a new Fable, the next Forza, Gears
the new Fable looks like crap.
of War E-Day, and the return of a classic.
Gears of War E-Day? What the hell is that? Oh, that's right. I remember hearing about that. It's like a prequel. Why are they making a prequel? Which I thought Judgment was already a prequel. Oh my gosh. Okay. They already had a prequel. It was Judgment. Which Judgment was actually not bad. I didn't hate it. It was way better than 4. And I haven't even touched 5, so I can't say, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, they have to. They put the present story. Yeah, they did. Here's the kicker. There are already books on the early... I know. I'm well aware. Like Marcus and Dom first starting out. Maybe they cover that. Maybe they actually cover that. I mean, it was like the same thing with Reach. When they did Reach in Halo, and like I'd already read the book of Fall of Reach. I'm like, I already know what happened here. But then they made the story about like Spartan 2s that were unrelated. And I'm like, okay, this isn't bad. And it kind of went along with it. So I like Marcus and Dom. But I bet they won't go with the books. That would be very, very disappointing if they didn't. By Karen Travis. What are her books? She's done. Whoa, she's done some Star Wars novels. She's done some Halo novels. She did the sequel to Ghosts of Onyx. I see. But then she did Asphalt Fields, Jacinto's Remnant, Anvil, Gate, Coalition's End, The Slab. So she's done several books from the Gears of War series, and she did a few of the Halo series, Kilo 5 trilogy specifically. Okay. I stopped, like I read the first 3 Halo books, Fall of Reach, The Flood, and First Strike. Excellent books, by the way. Eric Nyland is an excellent writer for those books. He also then did Ghosts of Onyx, but then I think he stopped writing for them, and instead they handed off the Halo books to somebody else. I thought he did just a great job with those Halo books, though. This is he actually done. Nothing that I'm aware of. Oh, although he did Halo War Genesis. Anyway, Karen Travis is a great author. She wrote the Republic Commando books. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to check out her books then.
Classic that's been with us since the beginning. Today, you've seen an incredible range of games from creators across the globe.
There were some cool games.
Creators
that
like
Clockwork Revolution
reaching for new heights.
Ninja Gaiden 4 looks really cool.
Sluggerfly making Team Meat's modern classic platformer into 3D. Square Enix.
So it's not Team Meat. Team Meat's not doing it.
Critically acclaimed Final Fantasy franchise to our players. And Team Ninja returning to the beloved series they debuted on Xbox.
Yeah, that's cool.
You've also seen the next Xbox hardware release, our Xbox Ally handheld, which lets you bring your Xbox experience.
This feels like, but here's my only issue with this. That is not their hardware. That is them getting Asus to make them hardware, and then they just made software for it. That's what they did. And they still have yet to explain whether or not I'm getting my full console library, or if I get to play both my console library and my PC library, or if it's just the PC library. So, yeah. Yes, agreed, Spiniest Thor. Screw Disney. I mean, come on.
And your library with you anywhere. I hope you enjoyed the breadth and depth of the games, updates, and experiences that are coming to Xbox from our partners and our own creative teams. We're seeing more players on our platform and in our games than ever, thanks to all of you. We're proud of the creativity that Obsidian is delivering this year. Immediately after Showcase.
Okay, so Obsidian has released this year, or will be releasing this year, Avowed. Avowed is kind of flopped. They're going to be releasing Outer Worlds 2, which looks kind of cool. Looks like it's more of Outer Worlds 1. Not a bad thing. Just with, you know, potentially an upgraded engine, some better stuff. And then releasing Grounded 2, which I have no interest in whatsoever. Not because it looks like it's a bad game. It's just, I don't care. I don't care. So, I don't know.
Our direct begins, where you'll go inside the studio for an extended
So I feel like for me, only one of those games actually looks worthwhile of all of Obsidian's games.
But before we get into the direct, we have a final world premiere. Enjoy.
Okay, so they're saving the best for last.
World premiere.
Okay, there's a butterfly on this one.
Welcome to the guild. We have been expecting you.
This looks like
Follow me.
Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which I think that was probably one of my favorite Call of Duties.
Our software, our systems, combined with our skilled team, is designed to save lives.
Yeah, that looks like the robot from Infinite Warfare.
The importance of our work. Here,
Train go boom. Yeah. Oh gosh, another actor that they're gonna shove into a game. Come on.
In action. Let me introduce you to our esteemed visionary.
For too long, we have been bound by outdated systems, accepting limitations instead of redefining them. The Guild is safeguarding tomorrow, now. We are pioneering the future of protection worldwide. Our advancements are designed to elevate everyday life, reshaping the future of technology on a global scale.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm Emma Higgins, CEO of the Guild.
Good choice of song, I suppose. Whoa. Inception? Wait. Is this Inception? Ooh. Weird. You know the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different outcomes? Green's gonna hate this. I might.
Fear is a powerful thing. David Mason. Menendez.
Wait. What? Black Ops, Call of Duty. Of course. To be fair, like Black Ops 4 was like pseudo-futuristic. And there's the zombies. More Call of Duty, because of course we're Call of Duty. Also, you know what's sad? Is that for me, like, I think after Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1 I think was probably one of the best stories for the Call of Duty campaigns. But it was also around that time when they started using, they started more and more using like, oh yeah, we've got full actors. Oh yeah, we've got big time actors doing full on motion capture and voice work and all this stuff. And it's just more of the same. Yeah. The campaign looks interesting. If I could get the campaign and maybe just experience the campaign and not have it be like 150 gigabytes for just the campaign, which I don't think will be the case, I wouldn't mind like playing that, but I've got no interest in playing the multiplayer anymore. Particularly like the Black Ops campaigns were always really interesting. Is this the direct now? I don't care about the direct. Yeah, it's the Obsidian direct. Wait, what was that? Did they do Pillars of... Wait, what? Oh, they got rid of everyone who worked Black Ops 4, but it appears some survived. What do you mean who worked Black Ops 4? You mean as in like the characters from Black Ops 4? Or do you mean... do you mean like the actual people who worked on the game? Is that... The reason why I'm looking this up is because it was Pillars of Eternity, right? Yeah. Pillars of Eternity to Deadfire. Did they do that? Did Obsidian actually do that one? It was Obsidian. Oh. Interesting. Interesting. I didn't know they did Pillars of Eternity series. That's very interesting. I feel like that's more in their wheelhouse, to be honest, because they did Neverwinter Nights 2, and they did Knights of the Old Republic. Their first two games were CRPGs. So them doing more CRPGs, I think, is actually really good. And of course, they did Stick of Truth. I mean, Obsidian is such an interesting studio because they've done some really good games, and then they've done some weird ones too. Like that Alpha Protocol was a really weird one. It was an interesting idea, but never just like turned out for them. I don't even remember what the hell this one was. Free to play. Ugh. Weird. I remember Tyranny. I do remember that game. I never cared about it. And then they did Pillars of Eternity 2. Did they do the first game? They did do the first game. Interesting. Is this based off of Pathfinder? I don't know. It doesn't say. So they did Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2, and then they did Outer Worlds. Okay. Grounded. Pentiment. Oh, Pentiment was an interesting one. You know what I mean? Like, Obsidian's such a weird game. Like, they have such weird, like, every other game is like a hit, and every other game is like a weird miss. Like, Avowed, I think it is not great. But Outer Worlds 2 looks really good. Pentiment was really interesting. Outer Worlds 1, really good. I've heard good things about Pillars of Eternity. I had no idea they did that, so that's cool. Grounded 2 is interesting to me since I was interested in the first game, and it looks like they're adding more ways to have fun and new bugs as well, like scorpions, mantises. Yeah, I thought they got rid of everyone who worked Black Ops 4.
Welcome to Obsidian Entertainment.
I think I already read that. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on Grounded 2 for when it reaches other platforms. Yeah. Right now, though, not so much.
And what better way to cap this incredible
both, hopefully,
than by doing what our studio does best: sequels.
We need a new South Park RPG like Snow Day.
No, you're doing great. You nailed it. The sequel is the lifeblood of every great franchise.
You're an actor. I don't care. Oh gosh. Anyway, we need to, I would love to see a sequel to The Fractured Butthole. Right? Because they did Stick of Truth, and then I think because the thing was that I think they ended up forming their own studio. Like the South Park team actually formed their own studio to make the second game. I don't think Obsidian worked on the first one. And so I don't think Obsidian is going to work on any of the other ones. And I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't actually opt for making their own, making a third RPG. Like, I don't understand why the South Park guys didn't do that.
Think about it. The original creates the world and builds fandom, but the sequel, that's what makes it worth remembering. No sequel, no hoverboard. No sequel, no dual SMGs. No sequel, no raccoon tail. No sequel, no Zune 2. Which doesn't really exist, but I wish it had.
There was a Zune 2.
There was a Zune 2? I'm Mark, the head of sequels here at Obsidian, and I have sequelized everything. Blockbuster movies to AAA video games to my first marriage, so trust me, I know what I'm doing. Come along on this journey with me. Part 2.
I will say this. I think probably hiring an actor is going to be more, is going to be a lot more interesting to hear them talk about it. But at the same time, the actor knows nothing about the game development stuff and therefore cares about what he has to say. You know, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think about this. And this is their part of their direct. I don't care about watching their direct.
Let the killing commence.
Yeah. I like the addition of mechs that they've added to Outer Worlds 2. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know. To be fair, I don't know if they added big mechs in the first game, because I didn't actually beat it. But man, there's some really big mechs in this game, and I think that's kind of cool. The saddest thing for me is that I don't think you can drive any of them.
The Outer Worlds 2 is a sequel to The Outer Worlds 1. It's
Really?
a continuation
Wait,
of the
wait.
themes of
Really? Are you telling me that The Outer Worlds 2 is a sequel to Outer Worlds 1? No way! Who could have guessed?
robber barons in space and how people are controlled by the stories they're told by the people who have power over them. This time we're able to go a lot deeper because
The best Call of Duty Call of Duties were Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare, in my opinion. I don't know if I actually played Advanced Warfare. I can definitely agree with you. I really liked Infinite Warfare. I thought Infinite Warfare was such a cool premise, and it hit. I don't know if they did this intentionally or not, but it hit a lot of the same sort of like strokes as the Mobile Suit Gundam anime, of them being in a war that was started by a colony of Earth to try and take over Earth. And they're a single warship that, although in their case they didn't escape, they weren't the only warship, but they were a single warship that escaped and were behind enemy lines for a vast majority of their time. And they were essentially doing missions against this colony. It was very cool, and there were a lot of really interesting ideas, and it's very sad to basically, because I haven't seen any of those ideas since then, which is very disappointing. So, do I remember shooting Kevin Spacey? Which one was he in? I feel like he was in Advanced Warfare, so no, I did not actually. Really? You can't tell me which Advanced? It was Advanced Warfare. So no, I don't remember that at all. I did toy with a concept doc that was a proper sequel, and it tied into the events of Imagination. Ooh, okay. But that's just me theorizing. Dude, but that sounds interesting. It was an expansion on the mobile game Phone Destroyer, plus the main two console games. The idea was that there were multiple genres that each of them were sort of kings of. That's cool. That's pretty cool.
For story, lore, RPG interactions, reactivity, all the things we've been known for as a company. It's really a complete realization of everything.
Except for Avowed. There's some bizarre design decisions that they decided to do in Avowed, particularly when you're in like friendly cities. Particularly as like nothing was really like the world in the cities where you were in friendly cities were completely static. None of the NPC moves. If you attacked anybody, they didn't do anything. If you were to like just randomly shoot out fireballs, like they just didn't care. It was like as if you weren't there. And I don't know if they ended up fixing it at all, but it is interesting to see how Avowed really kind of they made some odd choices, and there were some issues of also like DEI stuff, and you know, it just kind of all added up to being just somewhat disappointing from what I've seen. To the point where like I had no interest in picking it up. I might end up picking up Outer Worlds 2, but I want to see how well it does.
I think people want from an Obsidian game. Surprisingly, this is the first time in over
There's a
25
medieval
years that I've had the
superheroes,
chance to do a
Eastern,
full
Western,
sequel
pirates,
for
and
a world that I
sci-fi.
helped co-create. It's really just a fantastic opportunity to explore and expand the universe in interesting ways, and to go even further with the themes of how people are affected by living in a dystopian corporate reality.
You can shoot your way through it, you can talk your way through it, you can sneak your way through it. And so no matter what kind of play style that you like, this is just an awesome franchise and an awesome game to jump into, even if it's your first one.
The first Outer Worlds was a great base to start from, as it has all the elements of a great Obsidian RPG. Interesting characters, deep worlds, important choices. In the Outer Worlds 2, not only did we want to double down on those elements, but we wanted to give players even more of it.
We've also put a lot of investment into skills and traits that impact things like combat, conversations, and areas that we call RPG interactions, which are the part of the world where players can use their specific skills, perks, and backgrounds to solve problems in unique ways in our new, bigger worlds.
But I see only 2 options there. Shouldn't there be more than 2 options if you've got all these different
RPG
skills?
Experience, and building out that RPG crunchiness for our players was at the forefront of what we set out.
Crunchiness?
We prioritize those deeper RPG options with different character builds and combos so players can express their role-playing power fantasies. We also have different equipment options for different playstyles and different companions with different abilities.
At least it's giving a lot more gameplay. I don't really. Okay, I'm not really gonna be. Although I do want to see how they handle reactivity.
As a stranger, which was basically a blank slate to build on top of, with various attribute points that would begin to define your personal experience in the game. You can make any kind of character you want, but we've given you a role. That role is an Earth Directorate agent. You can think of them as kind of like space cowboys or space sky marshals. They're the good guys that go into places and kind of fix everything that's wrong. You're gonna be one of those. But we don't tell you why you joined the Earth Directorate. There could have been a lot of different reasons, right? It could have been because you're an actual lawbringer and you want to.
This feels almost like along the same lines as like Mass Effect.
Go in there and spread law throughout the galaxy. It could be that you're a roustabout and you just had nothing better to do. After you pick your background, one of the really
like if you think about it, like Mass Effect had a very similar setup. Like you were an Alliance military personnel, and but you had a whole different set of like backgrounds and personalities and things like that, and like what your childhood was like, and versus like were you a war hero or were like what was your service like and things like that, and that plays out in the rest of the game. And this feels like it's following that same sort of method of, instead of having you choose to like you can be whoever you want, instead they're like you have this one core. Now, granted, you have these different options for backgrounds, and you can still fill out your character however you want. But like, we have this story that we'd like you to go on this journey, and how you approach this journey, the decisions that you make can lead to very different outcomes. I think seems better than what they had set up in. So I don't think so much that Earth was. I don't know. I don't remember because I didn't beat the game, you know? So I don't know if Earth was gone or if it's just that they had lost contact, whether it was a matter of Earth going through, like Earth actually legitimately being destroyed, or maybe it was a matter of Earth was in some sort of war, and so they weren't able to communicate with the colonies anymore. Maybe something, I don't know. But it seemed like these colonies, there were multiple planets, if I remember correctly. So it seemed like these colonies had sort of been able to continue on to some extent. So I don't know.
Choices you have next is choosing your traits. While we had attributes in the first Outer Worlds, we've leaned into traits for the Outer Worlds 2, which are these big changes to your character depending on which ones you pick. So it could be something like Brilliant, where you can tag extra skills and you start getting extra skill points. And that's obviously really great if that's how you want to build your character. You can also go and do something like Lucky, where you get extra critical chance, and you also get a lot of really cool options throughout the game as well. Of course, we brought back Dumb, so players love the Dumb option.
Tell me, do you believe in signs? Not quite what I meant, but I like your contempt for boundaries. I could put your adventurous spirit to good use.
And you get like lots of really cool, fun conversation options in the game, but we took that even further. And again, there's lots of elements in the game where you can be dumb and use that for something. It could be something as simple as banging on a machine to get it to work. After you've invested in some of your traits, your next choices are going to be choosing your skills. The skills themselves basically allow you to build on your playstyle and what your character is doing in the game. That will be everything from playing stealthily to speccing for an explosive specialty.
Okay. Do not want to be there. Come on.
Throughout your entire journey, your character continues to change with the different choices you make. In the Outer Worlds 1, actually had more skills than we have, so we condensed them down to really the core and essence of what we really wanted there. But we made each point that you put into a skill much more impactful. So instead of getting small percentage changes, we actually did much larger changes per point that you put into each skill. And again, all these things, because of how they're checked inside the world itself, can matter quite a bit. You know, just even having one additional skill point in something can open up a lot more options in the world itself. If anybody's played Fallout New Vegas, they'll be very familiar with like the perk system. We basically borrowed that, but went even grander. We actually have more perks than Fallout New Vegas did. But here's the cool thing, right? We check and use perks for literally everything, right? So you can do everything from, hey, I want to make a stealthy build that steals stuff and is really good at that. Okay, great. Well, you can take maybe the pickpocketing perk. So that's not available to everybody, but if you select that, now you can actually go around and steal things out of people's pockets.
Okay.
There's another perk called heavy-handed, right? Where say you're a melee person, what this does is now your power attacks that you use actually knock people down.
Oh man, I really like the serial killer perk. As you start killing people, they will drop heart.
So again, like I think this is going to be the best game that they've released this year. Let's see. But anyway, guys, I think that's actually going to be it for me. Yeah, it's the showcase was not bad. I think there were some good things to see there. I think there's also some dumb things to see there. I think overall it was interesting. We'll have to see how these all these games pan out, and it'll be interesting to see how that Xbox Ally ROG also pans out as well. Yeah, I think it's a smart move for Xbox to move into more of a portable setup. So yeah, we'll see how well that works out for them. I still have yet to see anybody explain whether or not that means that. In fact, let's look it up. Yep. Bullshit. It cannot play native Xbox console games. It can only play so it basically what it's running is it's running the Xbox app. That's all it's doing. That's actually really disappointing. And makes me question, what is the point of me getting the Xbox ROG Ally versus just the because Asus is releasing a second one. The Asus ROG Ally 2. I know there's an update available. Shut up. Or are they calling it? Or is 2 actually going to be? Oh, I see. So this is the ROG Ally 2. Interesting. I see. This, okay, so they released the Asus ROG Ally, it's like 2 years ago? And then there were rumors that the second one was coming out because of leaked photos. And it's not just it is actually an Xbox Now specific thing. Xbox has made a deal with them to make it specifically an Xbox device. Okay, that makes some sense. That makes more sense, I should say. But now that makes me question, is this going to be... Yeah, that's interesting. Because with it being Windows, can I still download Steam with it? Because that was the thing about the first Asus ROG Ally, was that you could download Steam, you could use the Windows Xbox app and get access to all your games that way. I gotta tell you, this is actually a little disappointing. I was hoping you could play your Xbox console games. Can't. You can play the Play Anywhere games, but I don't know. Because my issue is that, like, have they added more of the Play Anywhere games? I don't think they have. So I don't think they've retroactively actively gone in and added more games to the Play Anywhere feature. Which means that what's here is what was always here. It actually makes me a little sad. As I said, I have a very extensive library of Xbox games, and I would like an excuse to actually continue to play them. And who knows, maybe when it releases, they'll be adding a ton more games to the Play Anywhere with the Play Anywhere feature. This will be the last thing I look up tonight, but let's be adding games to... There are now 1,000 Play Anywhere games, just not the ones that I own. I have a lot of games on Xbox. It's actually kind of stupid. And who knows? Maybe I have to get the update for the app or something like that. Like you're gonna take your time. Let's down some stuff that we don't need open. That finishes loading. Yeah, buy once, play anywhere. Yes, that's what I want to know. But again, all this seems like newer stuff. Why is their online store always like this? It's always weird, man. Doom, Oblivion, Space Marine, Remaster, Police Simulator. So they have stuff. That looks weird. Super Slime Boy. Okay. Forza Horizon 5. But I don't think they've added more than what they... Like, I don't think they've retroactively gone back and added more stuff in. That makes sense. Which kind of sucks. Gears 5. Wait. Don't I own Gears 5? Yeah. I know. There's an update. There's Gears 4. Don't own Gears 5. That's right. It was part of I had it on freaking Just the Game Pass nonsense. Shredder's Revenge. I don't know if I own that on Game Pass or not. Might have, actually, to be honest. Which means I didn't own it. Period. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's gonna be it for me, guys. Well, thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for putting up with me and my need to go through and watch that showcase. I didn't hate it. I actually did not hate it. I have seen worse of the sort of like game presentations. Certainly EA comes to mind. Ubisoft also comes to mind as well. But I think there was a lot of good to be seen there. Yeah. There's also some crap there too, but that's another story. Also, a lot of like cinematic trailers, which just generally means nothing to me because, like I said, cinematic trailers are completely worthless. I need to see gameplay. I need to see actual, like, how does this actually look when you're in the game versus some nicely pre-rendered nonsense, you know? So, yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Big thank you to everybody that has been here in the chat, starting with the Twitch side, because that is the easiest for me. Big thank you to Fubiwala, Darth Phazon, Raw Dog, Phazon, Spiniest Thor. Big thank you for stopping by again. Magus62M as well. Thank you guys all so much for here. And of course, a big thank you to the YouTube side as well. Epic Legend Quest was in the chat. Thank you so much for stopping by, dude. I appreciate that. Kind of quiet on the Rumble side as well, but I know that there were lurkers across all of the different platforms. So thank you guys for stopping by and saying hi. I'm not saying hi for the lurkers, but for stopping by and watching for a little bit. I do appreciate it. Yeah, so I will be back tomorrow on Magus' stream for some more Baldur's Gate 3. Sunday will be more Marvel Rivals, and maybe I'll check out another... I think I missed Sony's one, so we might actually watch Sony's one next week as well. So anyway, guys, I will hopefully catch you guys next time. But until then, this is Green Leader. So